Welcome back. Ever since releasing my Arkham City rewrite, which you can check out down below, I've had the itch to keep rewriting. And what better place to continue than by tackling one of Arkham City's most disappointing side missions, a Fragile Alliance. The mission where you team up with Bane to track down Titan containers across Arkham City, only to discover he's been stashing them for himself. Now, before we dive into the rewrite, as with all of the rewrite content, it helps if you've seen the main game rewrite for context's sake, so in this case that would be the Arkham City rewrite. But if you haven't, here's the quick context. My Batman is a lot more emotional, closer to Batman the Animated Series than the cold, machine-like version we sometimes get in the Arkham games. Things affect him and he feels them. It's also worth noting that he doesn't have explosive gel in this rewrite. People got surprisingly mad about that choice for a hypothetical rewrite, like weirdly defensive over the lack of explosive gel, but the fact remains, no gel. Everything else though in his arsenal is still here. Since this is all a glorified fanfiction, the footage on screen often won't reflect the story I'm telling, due to said story being completely hypothetical. So if I can somehow line things up I will, but for the most part, especially today since a lot of this doesn't even come close to happening, the gameplay will kind of just be there. And lastly, before we begin, a quick mention, channel memberships are now a thing. I'm not going to push this every time, but if you want to support me and the channel, it's a way to do that that gives me time to make bigger and better videos. You'll get early access to uploads, the first being the finale of the LEGO Batman serial killer run, featuring BD1P, along with exclusive badges and emojis for the channel. Totally optional, but if you do pick one up, it would help immensely, and it means the world. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get into it. So, my rewrite Bane is actually a lot closer to his Origins version. He's ever so slightly dumber after years of Titan abuse, but not like Arkham Asylum dumb. And since I'm not doing an Origins rewrite, I'm basically using that version of Bane whenever Bane shows up in my rewrite universe. So, while exploring Arkham City, Batman overhears on Tiger comms that a distress flare has been spotted outside the Crank Co. toy factory. He'd head over there and find a group of Joker goons trying to break in. Batman would take out the goons and head into the factory, and at the end of a dimly lit corridor in a room would stand Bane. Smaller than usual, similar to his Origins build, built more like Batman than his original Arkham look. Big, but not inhuman. Bane would turn around and see Batman. He'd say, "Batman, I knew you would come. Surprised to see me?" Batman would respond, "A little. Last time I saw you, you were wrapped around the hood of my car. Why are you here? Surely Strange didn't put you here." Bane would clearly not like this backhanded comment, and he'd tell Batman he signalled him for help, not childish insults. He'd say, "I came here myself, Batman. I would not allow a hombrecito like Strange to make me stay here. I'm here because the Payaso Loco sent some of Dr. Young's Titan off of Arkham Island before you stopped him, and I'm here to take it back." Batman replies, "Take it back? You know that won't end well, Bane." Bane explains, "No, Batman, I want to destroy it, to keep it out of the hands of the Bastardos Locos of this city. Dr. Young forced it into me, used me to create it. It's my duty to destroy what remains, and I will not allow the people of this city to abuse the Titan." Batman, clearly shocked by Bane's willingness to do good, responds, "Alright, Bane, I'll help you, but if you try anything, I'm taking you down too." We find Titan containers, we destroy them. That's the deal. Today really isn't a good day to lie to me, Bane. Remember that. Bane nods. "You won't have to worry about me, Batman. I'm here to rid this city of the Titan, not waste my time fighting you. The Titan containers have tracking beacons on them. There are 3 batches left in the city, 12 containers in total. Meet me at the first container and we'll end this." Batman turns to leave and Bane stops him. He says, "Gracias, Murcielago," and Batman leaves the factory. My idea here is to give Bane both more screen time and have some really cool set pieces between Bane and Batman, and obviously set up the twist at the end, which is a little bit different to what it is in the actual game. So my idea is that Batman would receive comms from Bane when Bane sends him the coordinates of a Titan container building, and they'd be scattered around the city. The first location would be underground near the subway terminal where Nightwing fights the Titan thugs in my initial Arkham City rewrite, in a large open area which doesn't actually exist in the real game, but it does here. Batman would meet Bane here and the pair would talk about how they need to work together. They can't let their past get in the way of this mission. Once inside, the containers would be surrounded by Penguin thugs who'd be talking about how Penguin asked them to protect these containers and they don't even actually know what they have in them. We'd get to fight alongside Bane to clear the room out, and it's here we'd see cracks forming in their, pardon my pun, but fragile alliance. Batman and Bane obviously have very different views on what should happen to people who get in their way. Batman knocks them out, Bane kills them pretty brutally. So throughout this fight, Batman will have to try and stop Bane killing people. For example, Bane would get someone up to smash them over his knee and kill them, but you'd have to interrupt the move with the Batclaw to pull the thug out of Bane's grip, saving him. This would obviously annoy Bane and he'd shout things like, "Why do you protect these animals? They deserve to die." But in his pursuit to not fight Batman, he lets it go and continues fighting. When the fight's over, Batman would pull the containers off the wall with the Batclaw, destroying them, and Bane would square up to him. He challenges Batman as to why he kept saving the scum. He says, "Why did you save them? You and I were both forged by pain, Batman, but it seems only I have the courage to give pain back." Batman just looks at him and says, "That's not what this city needs, Bane." Bane just looks at him and disapprovingly scoffs before leaving. While flying around the city, finding Riddler trophies and whatnot, Batman gets another call from Bane. He's found another warehouse full of Titan. Batman heads to the lockup in the amusement mile and finds Bane surrounded by bodies. Batman asks what happened and Bane tells him they were waiting for him. They knew he'd go after the canisters. Batman checks the pulses of the bodies, all dead, all broken in different ways. Neck, spine, legs, arms, they're just mangled. Batman, seeing this, tells Bane if he kills anyone else, he'll take him down and finish this himself. Bane dares him to try something, trying to goad him into a fight, but Batman opens the hatch below and they go into the lockup. Once they enter, the area would be a big stealth encounter full of Joker thugs. Now, I know what you're thinking. How the hell would a stealth section with Bane of all people work? Well, Bane would kind of act as a distraction the player could call in. The pair would agree that fighting this many armed thugs head-on would be suicide, so they split up. Batman tells Bane to wait for his order before moving. Bane would argue, telling Batman that men like him don't wait for orders from men like Batman, but after Batman tells him it's either that or they both get shot to pieces because of Bane's incompetence, he'd reluctantly agree, be handed a communicator, and Batman would head up into the rafters. Here the player would do the stealth room normally, but be able to have Bane smash things, like walls, sort of create new takedown opportunities, that sort of thing, before Bane would disappear into the shadows again. We all have to remember that Bane isn't dumb here. He's tactical, he knows what he's doing, and here we'd really see that. He'd be able to think logically and tactically and set up takedowns for Batman. He'd be able to create new opportunities for Batman to traverse through the arena and ultimately assist him. Bane and Batman would clear the room and the pair would meet up at the back of the room. Bane would grab each canister and rip it off the wall, throwing it across the room and destroying it. And Bane would begin talking. He'd say, "Batman, you really struggle with these aficionados? They are weak." Batman tells Bane it's not about struggling, it's about restraint and fear. Bane would tell Batman people like this, people who take from innocents, kill without reason, steal what isn't theirs, they don't deserve to feel fear more than once. The only fear they deserve to feel is that final look into their killer's eyes. He continues that back in his home, Santa Prisca, ruthless warlords took his home, turned it into a hell on earth. Slavery, mindless killing, thievery, all of the horrors of the world were brought to his home. Batman says that when this is over, he should go back, do what the defenseless can't, and Bane scoffs, telling him that there's nothing left to save over there, it's a lost cause. Batman responds, telling him that nothing's ever a lost cause if there's someone willing to fight for it, and Bane walks away, leaving Batman behind. After some more Riddler trophy collecting and side mission completing, Bane calls Batman one more time, this time telling him to go to a building in Park Row. Batman arrives and speaks to Bane, and Bane says this is the final batch of Titan to destroy, so they subtly make their way in as Bane kicks the front door down and finds a huge group of thugs, all armed using shields, armour, stun batons, that sort of thing. The fight ensues, and this time the option to interrupt Bane from killing is gone. The fight continues and the pair take out the thugs before, just as they think it's clear, two Titan thugs burst through the wall. One of the Titan thugs beelines right at Bane, knocking him into a wall and taking him down, leaving Batman and thus the player to deal with the pair and the thugs they brought in with them. He does just that and takes both of the raging thugs down. Once the room is clear, Batman goes to pull the Titan containers down using the Batclaw, and as he begins pulling, a sniper lasers in on Batman. We see the red dot line up to the back of his head, but Bane manages to grab the sniper-wielding thug as he fires. Batman turns around, the bullet narrowly missing his head, and Bane holds the thug up in his classic backbreaker position. Batman pulls a Batarang out ready to save the thug and fight Bane, but before he really even gets the Batarang out of his utility belt, Bane puts the thug down and punches him in the head, knocking him out. Batman looks at Bane with a sense of relief and says, "You destroy these last containers. This is your duty after all." Bane walks past Batman and rips them off the wall and destroys them, leaving the pair standing face to face in the room. Bane says, "Thank you, Batman. You didn't need to help me, and you did. I won't forget this." Batman narrows his eyes at Bane in confusion, almost asking him why he let the man live. Bane looks at the man, looks back at Batman and says, "He only lived because you were here, Batman. His life means nothing to me, but I respect you. You have a code I can't live by. You help people. That's not my job." Batman interjects, "No, Bane, you didn't kill that man. You didn't kill any of these men, and that matters. If you're the monster you think you are, you would have killed them. Maybe came after me, but you didn't. You have helped people. You went out of your way to make sure this Titan didn't get into the wrong hands. You've helped people, and now's your chance to help more. Go home, Bane. Leave this all behind and make a difference." Bane looks almost confused and says, "But there's nothing left there for me. Nothing but pain." Batman replies, "But there's everything there for the people who still call Santa Prisca home. They need someone to show them there's still hope. The night is darkest just before the dawn. You know that better than most." Bane nods and Batman reaches his hand out for a handshake. Bane waits a second or two and the camera shows us Bane's hand gripping Batman's. The two shake hands, look at each other one last time, and Batman, knowing Bane will do the right thing when it matters, leaves him behind to go and make a difference. And that brings an end to my rewritten Fragile Alliance side mission. Is it perfect? No, far from it. I actually think, if anything, a couple of little critiques, this side mission could be a tad longer to really show the dynamic between Bane and Batman, but if I wrote it to be longer, I don't think I'd know when to wrap it up. So 3 sections and plenty of dialogue felt right, but honestly, this could go for 5 or 6 segments really just to keep building that sort of relationship between Batman and Bane, and slowly kind of not break Bane down, but dissect him as a character, especially since we already know Bane has a sense of justice within him in the first place. Rewriting this side mission was particularly hard, probably the hardest thing I've had to rewrite, because I really didn't have much character from Bane initially in this universe to base this betrayal off. However, I think I've done what I set out to do, and that's show Bane as a person with nuance and emotion. My thinking behind this was that Bane and Batman by this point, if we include Origins in this, which I guess we are for the purposes of this, have fought like 3 times. We don't need to fight Bane again. We know he's strong, we know he's smart, but what we don't know is that he doesn't always need to be on the scarred side of the coin, so to speak. I love when Bane is a villain. I think he's probably Batman's most compelling villain. But when the pair team up, or at least don't fight, that's the stuff I find really interesting here. Because at the end of the day, they have quite a lot in common. I think there needs to be that will they won't they fight dynamic, because morally they aren't aligned in many ways, but I think having Bane realise the people he left behind at Santa Prisca are suffering and he can be the one to save them just makes him feel a little more, I don't know, human. Like, he comes to realise he can make a difference, become something bigger than himself, and in doing so, bring justice to those who deserve it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this different take on Bane and his side mission. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below, but as always, keep it civil and we can discuss this all day. Thank you for watching and listening, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.